At Trinity Christian, Shedeur Sanders was already on radars. At Jackson State in Colorado, he became a campus brand. Now, in Cleveland, he's a professional headline. Day 2 of Pro Bowl practice wasn't just another scrimmage. It was a stage, and Sanders knew it. Flanked by Mike Vick and surrounded by NFL stars, he casually announced the upcoming launch of his own signature shoes. A fifth-round rookie pulling off what few veterans even dream of? That's more than a flex. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed. It's a timeline, and it traces his rise through football's changing definition of stardom. His stats: 1,400 yards, 7 TDs, 10 picks. Don't scream Pro Bowl. But leadership doesn't always show up in numbers. The mic'd-up clips from Cleveland's media team told a different story. Sanders communicating routes with surgical precision, maintaining pocket command, and energizing unfamiliar huddles. April's sneaker release isn't a sideshow, it's a statement. One that cements Sanders not just as a quarterback, but as a cultural architect. His journey isn't about breaking molds. It's about building new ones. Shedeur Sanders turned a routine Pro Bowl practice into a cultural flashpoint, and he didn't even need a single snap to do it. On day 2 of Pro Bowl prep, the Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback made headlines that had absolutely nothing to do with stats, or drills, or flag football strategy. What stunned fans, players, media, and brands alike was this: Shedeur Sanders revealed that he's dropping his own signature sneaker line, slated for release in April. Not just some branded collab, a full signature shoe, from a fifth-round NFL rookie. It's the kind of commercial move that practically never happens in pro football, let alone to someone who wasn't drafted in the first or second round. The NFL has always been a place where marketing momentum follows performance. You ball out, you get the bag. But what Shedeur just did rewired the whole equation, because his announcement wasn't about his arm strength. It was about his market power. This move was a statement. And the NFL world? They weren't ready. The shoes themselves are already making waves. Predominantly black, sleek, with signature detailing that makes them stand out without screaming. Described by fans as absolutely fire, they're the kind of drop that doesn't rely on garish design. Instead, they tap into identity. They mean something. That meaning was amplified by what was happening around them, because it wasn't just the shoes. It was the context. The same day Shedeur's announcement broke, the Browns released exclusive mic'd-up footage of him on the field, leading huddles, calling plays, adjusting routes mid-practice like a 10-year vet. He was captured giving precise instructions, telling receivers to hit short openings inside the tackle box. Calm, clear, tactical. This was no filler footage. It was an intentional showcase of maturity, command, and football IQ. And it worked. Fans didn't just hear it. They felt it. Because when you see a rookie quarterback on a field full of stars, holding that kind of presence, it sticks. It doesn't matter that he threw 10 interceptions this season, or that he only had 7 touchdowns and 1,400 yards. Because what Shedeur is doing isn't limited to a box score. It's bigger than that. He's building something that most rookies don't even attempt. A brand rooted in leadership, vision, and cultural relevance. And behind that is Mike Vick, the former NFL legend who also coached Shedeur's Pro Bowl flag football team, has been a mentor since Sanders' Jackson State and Colorado days. This isn't just a Showtime partnership. It's a long-term mentorship rooted in trust, guidance, and shared experience. Vick sees it. The Browns see it. And now, the league sees it too. But the rise hasn't come without pushback. From the second Sanders was announced as a Pro Bowler, the debate began. How did a rookie with a subpar stat line make it? Was it just fan hype? Media attention? His last name? Or worse? Was it performative but built on flash rather than substance? These weren't just critiques. They were layered in something deeper. Subjectivity that leaned into legacy politics and racial undertones. One moment caught on Mike said it all. He's a confident black man. That's the problem. That single quote became a mirror for the entire conversation. Because Shedeur didn't do anything inappropriate. He didn't show up cocky or loud. He showed up prepared. He showed up focused. But for some people, that was the issue. A young black quarterback asserting his identity and owning his moment is still, somehow, uncomfortable for traditionalists. And yet, his response couldn't have been more measured. It's surreal. I get to be around all these great guys. Just like that, he flipped the narrative. Poised, grateful, centered. There was no defensive edge. Just quiet confidence wrapped in humility. And that kind of balance, that's deliberate. It's the architecture of someone who knows exactly how to control a message. The timing of the shoe drop wasn't random either. April is the NFL's content desert. No games, no draft buzz yet. It's the perfect moment to cut through the noise and dominate a cycle. Dropping a signature shoe in the middle of that lull is a strategic play, one that turns a rookie's offseason into a highlight. It keeps Shedeur in a conversation when no one else is even on the field. Meanwhile, back in Cleveland, the Browns are making it very clear. They're all in. You don't greenlight this level of exposure, press, and internal buy-in for just anyone. You don't let a fifth-round rookie take center stage during a league event unless you've already decided. This guy is part of the plan. There's more going on than what fans see on the surface. Strategic staff hires, culture shifts, operational decisions aimed at surrounding Sanders with structure and stability. It's not a coincidence. It's a signal. Cleveland isn't looking at Shedeur as a backup option. They're building a system around him. And now he's giving them something even more valuable than efficient quarterback play. He's giving them national relevance. The organic response to the shoe announcement proves it. Social media didn't just buzz. It caught fire. Sneakerheads and football fans started speculating about colorways. Forums filled with pre-order requests. No paid campaign. No hype train. Just genuine reaction to a quarterback moving in a way that's never been done before the stage. And the reason people are connecting with it isn't just the design. It's the story. The shoes track his path. Trinity High School, Jackson State, Colorado, Cleveland. They're not just style pieces. They're legacy objects. Wearable symbols of a journey that's still unfolding. That's why they hit differently. Because they represent a roadmap that more athletes will follow in the future. Controlling your own narrative, expanding your brand, and transcending the field. That's what's happening here. It's not about Pro Bowl stats. It's not about yards or completions. It's about a rookie stepping into the league and rewriting what success looks like. Yes, performance still matters. But Shedeur is showing us that influence matters too. That visibility, resonance, and authenticity can be just as powerful, especially when you're smart enough to leverage them. He's not waiting for the league to hand him a spotlight. He's building it himself. And that's the shift we're witnessing. The old model said, wait your turn, keep your head down, play the game. Then maybe you'll earn the platform. Shedeur just skipped all of that, not because he's entitled, but because he's ready and everyone around him knows it. Whether people agree with the hype or not is irrelevant now. The conversation has already moved. The league is evolving, and Shedeur Sanders is one of the first players to step fully into what that evolution looks like, not just as a quarterback, but as a cultural architect. If you felt that shift too, hit like, drop a comment. Are you copping the sneakers? Think Shedeur is pushing the NFL forward or skipping steps? Either way, subscribe, because what just happened at Pro Bowl practice? That wasn't the peak. That was the prelude. Shedeur Sanders didn't just announce a sneaker drop. He sparked a movement. By the end of Pro Bowl practice day 2, it was clear to everyone. This was more than just a rookie getting some media attention. This was a shift in how influence in the NFL is earned, used, and measured, not by stat sheets, not by seniority, but by presence, purpose, and precision. And Sanders walked onto that field, fifth-round pick or not, with all three locked in. What he did wasn't loud or theatrical. It was strategic, calculated. He showed up, led the huddle like it was a playoff game, corrected receivers with surgical football language, and then dropped arguably the most unexpected branding announcement of the season, a signature sneaker, set for release in April. Let's stop there for a second, because the word signature isn't a throwaway here. In the NFL, this almost never happens. It's one thing to get a cleat deal, maybe even a custom pair of game day kicks through a sponsor, but your own shoe, that's next level. And Shedeur didn't wait to become a franchise veteran or a Super Bowl MVP to make it happen. He stepped into that space as a rookie with a modest stat line and a towering sense of where the game and the business is headed. What made it so bold was the context. The Pro Bowl is meant to be light, a victory lap, but for Sanders, it was a stage. And when the Browns released mic'd-up footage showing him leading like a veteran, adjusting play concepts, and engaging his teammates with clarity and confidence, it all clicked. The footage wasn't just about performance. It was about narrative. It said, this guy isn't just here to be coached, he's here to lead. And that's exactly what he did. While critics fixated on his numbers, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, Sanders was showcasing something numbers can't measure: intangibles. Football IQ, command, leadership, emotional fluency, the stuff that separates a player from a franchise. And he did it all with the added pressure of media scrutiny, fan skepticism, and yes, the weight of being Deion Sanders' son. But here's the difference. He never used that legacy as a shield. He used it as fuel. He knows what the whispers are. He's heard the chatter. He's only getting attention because of his dad. The numbers don't match the hype. Why him? But Sanders doesn't flinch. He doesn't overcompensate. He doesn't need to, because the real answer isn't in the stats. It's in the response. The shoe announcement alone caused a total media uproar. Fans were stunned. Commentators were scrambling. Twitter went full tilt. Within hours, the design had circulated through sneaker blogs, Reddit threads, and sports pages, all asking the same thing. Is this the new face of NFL branding? The reaction was instant and widespread because it felt earned, even if it wasn't tied to gaudy numbers. It came from the way Shedeur carried himself, from the clips showing him coaching other players, from his mic'd-up voice calmly guiding routes and reading coverages, from the Browns' clear buy-in, and from the fact that when he finally spoke about it all, he said, "It's surreal. I get to be around all these great guys." He didn't beat his chest. He didn't spike the mic. He just kept it real and respectful. And that humility, that's what locked in the narrative. Because when critics tried to flip the hype into arrogance, Shedeur gave them no ammo. When the commentary got racialized and someone dropped the now viral sideline remark, "He's a confident black man," that's the problem. He didn't respond with fire. He responded with balance. He let the work speak. And that's exactly why it resonated. Because for years, black quarterbacks have had to walk this impossible tightrope. Be confident, but not too confident. Lead, but don't be seen as too loud. Be marketable, but don't look like you're distracted. And Shedeur, without even mentioning it directly, called that system out just by thriving inside it. His success isn't just personal. It's political, cultural, symbolic. It challenges who's allowed to be the face of a franchise, who gets to call plays, who gets to command huddles, and yes, who gets to drop a signature shoe before year 2 even starts. And the Browns? They're not just letting it happen. They're backing it all the way. You don't invest in a rookie like this unless you believe. They've made organizational moves that signal clear intent. They're not waiting to see if Shedeur pans out. They're building around him. Staff hires, structural changes, media support. It's all part of a broader bet, not just on a quarterback, but on a brand. Because Sanders is more than just a football player. He's a platform. And now he's turning that platform into product. That's why the April release date matters. Dropping during the off-season is no accident. It's prime territory. No distractions. High fan engagement. Total control of the media cycle. And when the sneaker hits shelves, it won't just be about fashion. It'll be about connection. Fans won't just be buying footwear. They'll be buying into a story. The design itself reinforces that. A minimalist black colorway. Clean lines. Sharp accents. Nothing excessive. Just bold, sleek identity. A nod to his journey. Trinity High, Jackson State, Colorado, Cleveland. Each stop embedded in the DNA of the drop. Its wearable legacy. And when you add in the mentorship of Mike Vick, another black quarterback who changed how the position was perceived, it becomes even more significant. Vick didn't just show up for show. He coached Sanders' Pro Bowl team. He's been with him since college. This isn't surface-level guidance. This is deep, strategic development, the kind that creates long-term leadership, not short-term hype. So, yeah, some fans still want to debate whether Shedeur's Pro Bowl selection was earned. Some will stay stuck on his stat line. But the rest are watching the bigger picture unfold. Because what Shedeur did at the Pro Bowl wasn't just surprising. It was transformative. He walked into the NFL as a fifth-round pick. He turned heads not with stats, but with strategy. He showed leadership, football intelligence, and humility in front of the biggest names in the league. He announced a shoe deal that no one saw coming. And he handled the wave of criticism that followed with more grace than most veterans. And now, whether fans like it or not, he's not just a quarterback. He's a blueprint for how to step into the league and build more than just a career, for how to carry yourself under pressure, for how to speak, move, and lead when every camera is rolling. The NFL isn't the same as it was even 5 years ago. Influence looks different now. Brand matters. Identity matters. And Shedeur, he's got all of it dialed in. So if you've been watching all this unfold and thinking, what comes next? That's the right question. Because the answer? Whatever Shedeur Sanders decides. At this point, it's not even about whether Shedeur Sanders deserves the spotlight. The real story is that he's owned it without apology, without gimmicks, and without ever trying to be anything other than himself. And that's exactly why so many people don't know what to do with him. A fifth-round rookie quarterback isn't supposed to be at the center of the NFL's Pro Bowl headlines. He's not supposed to be dropping culture-shifting merchandise at practice. He's not supposed to be mentoring other players on route adjustments on national television. But Shedeur broke all those rules, quietly, effectively, and completely on his own terms. The irony is, the criticism he's faced has only made the story louder. Every time someone questioned his stats, or implied his presence was more marketing than merit, the footage said otherwise. Every clip of him calmly instructing his teammates. Every moment he spoke with clarity, not ego. Every shot of him commanding a huddle full of league veterans with the kind of presence most rookies only dream of. The Browns knew what they were doing when they released that footage. They didn't just want fans to see Shedeur as a Pro Bowl selection. They wanted them to see why. Not because of touchdowns, not because of his last name, but because when you watch him operate, even in a low-stakes flag football setting, he reads like a leader, and not the kind who yells to get attention. The kind who leads because other players start leaning in, and that's rare. You don't teach that. You don't scheme that into a playbook. That's presence. That's cultural fluency. That's an understanding of the assignment that goes way beyond X's and O's. It's also exactly why the sneaker drop landed the way it did. April, off-season, no games to distract from it. No noise, just a clean window to announce to the world. Shedeur Sanders is here. He's thinking bigger, and he's not waiting for anyone to validate him. The fact that it's a signature line, not a one-off cleat, not a collaboration, but a brand new entity designed with him at the center, sends a very loud message to the league and the culture. This isn't a side hustle. This is the hustle. It's what happens when you blend legacy, leadership, and brand literacy into one rookie package. Because the truth is, Shedeur didn't just grow up learning football mechanics. He grew up watching how narratives are shaped, how image works, how storytelling moves the needle. When your father is one of the most magnetic, polarizing, and successful figures in NFL history, you don't just inherit talent. You absorb strategy. And what we're watching now is strategy in motion. The shoes themselves? Black, minimalist, classic. They don't beg for attention. They assume it. And that makes sense. Because Shedeur isn't trying to be loud. He's letting the message speak for itself. And the message is legacy. Every piece of the design connects back to his story. Trinity High School, Jackson State, Colorado, Cleveland. This isn't merchandise. It's iconography. It's wearable identity. That's why the reaction was so immediate. People weren't just excited about the shoe. They were invested. They saw themselves in it. They saw the journey, the message, the underdog energy, the refusal to wait for permission, and that connected. And it should terrify every team that passed on in the draft. Because what Shedeur is doing isn't just about football anymore. He's changing the blueprint. He's showing that value in the NFL isn't measured only in yards or passer rating. It's measured in influence, in how many people show up for you when there's nothing on the schedule, in how many headlines you generate with a practice jersey on, in how many industries you touch before your rookie season is even over. And the Browns? They're not just letting it happen. They're building a system around it. Their organizational moves aren't coincidental. They're crafting a future with Shedeur at the core. That means staff. That means infrastructure. That means marketing, support, and planning that reflects one thing: confidence in his long-term trajectory. They know what they've got, and now the rest of the league does too. That's why the Pro Bowl selection, controversial or not, feels like a turning point, because it forced the NFL world to look up and ask, who is this kid really? And the answer, for anyone who's been paying attention, is clear. He's the next evolution of what a quarterback can be. Not just a playmaker, not just a student of the game, but a force, both on the field and beyond it. Someone who reads the fences and brand landscapes with equal fluency. Someone who knows the game doesn't stop when the whistle blows. It continues in interviews, in partnerships, in every moment you decide to own your narrative instead of letting someone else write it. Shedeur's already doing that, and he's just getting started. So when the April shoe drop hits, that's not the end of this arc. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where rookies don't have to stay quiet, one where value is defined not by where you were picked, but by how you carry yourself the moment you walk into the room, one where being a fifth-round pick doesn't mean you're 5 years away from relevance. It means you're 5 steps ahead of the curve. And if you're still asking if he earned this moment, you've already missed it. He didn't wait to be handed a platform. He built one. He filled it with presence. Then he backed it with product. And now he's turning his own story into a movement. One mic tuck clip, one route adjustment, one bold sneaker drop at a time. Tap that like if you saw this coming. Comment if you're copping the April release, or if you think the league still doesn't get it. And hit subscribe, because Shedeur Sanders isn't just rewriting the rookie playbook. He's launching a new era, and we're watching it unfold live,